All right, welcome everyone. Jared Napolitano, JNAP here, marketing advocate for the PC. Going to be doing a stream here for the 2023 Retro League, event 2 out of 5. This format is Premier through Endor constructed, and this is going to be game 5 out of 6. We have two 4-0 players here, two very good retro format players. I got this via replay. This was played last night. So Wednesday, April 12th, I'm streaming it on the 13th, so doing it at a non-peak time, so more people are probably going to watch this on replay than live. But if you are live, happy to have you, and interaction's always good during these streams. So without further ado, the background here is there are 57 players in this event. So there's 29 tables, including one that's just a bye. We are going to be doing table 2 here. There are four 4-0 players. Mark Billings and Brad Kipple are table 1. They're going to be playing tomorrow night, Friday the 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And this game is between Todd Feldman, a.k.a. DRTORCH, and Andrew Bethell, a.k.a. COTVG. Both players, more recently, Andrew in online events. He's had some pretty good showings in the annual online retro event, as well as last year's Retro League and this year's Retro League. So he was actually in one of these top tables in Event 1 last month, so that those streams are on the website, or on the YouTube channel, I should say, probably where you're accessing this, but if not, youtube.com/c/Star Wars CCG. So that's the PC YouTube channel. All right, so I think that's the background here. Let's jump in. I got the replay from Andrew's perspective. I don't know who won. Intentionally, I told Andrew, hey, don't tell me, because I want to be kind of surprised, and I haven't looked up like who won in the Gemp League. So look at this. These streams seem to get some pretty good viewership. I think it's a lot of old school players or new returning players. Really enjoy seeing this. So hopefully, it's coverage of the event, but it's also hopefully a learning experience for some players. One other thing I wanted to mention, this is a hidden base, so he's going to pick that out. Because this is game 5 in a 6-game event, neither of these players are going, as I pause it here, are going to be playing these decks again in this format or this event. So they're going to switch to their other side for game 6. So that's where we focus the streaming not only on the game 5 and 6, because that's where you kind of see who the top tables are, top players in the format and the event, but also you don't have to worry about leaking out secret tech and having other players or future opponents plan knowing everything or almost everything via stream. So I actually don't know what the hidden base was. So he open hands 3 systems here. So DRTORCH, pretty famous for playing Hunt Down Dueling in basically every format. So going back to Special Edition, all the way through open play, even recently. So we have a Bad Feeling Have I from Dark Side, Reactor Terminal, card that DRTORCH has in pretty much every deck, along with Traffic Control. So Visage hits both players, Dantooine from hand, Ellis Hellrot from hand, so that's probably not going to be very helpful. This matchup, you expect to see lots of space from light side here. Dark side's going to just look to get Vader down and get the Visage pings, and then maybe have some token space to be able to probe the system. Security Precautions is a card that came out in this Endor expansion, which this format is basically through like summer of 1999. Any errata that were done after in the Decipher era or in the PC era apply. So like Projective Telepathy is a good example. Like you can't cancel your own battle with Projective Telepathy. So stuff like that's like retroactive, and it's just kind of the way things are. But a lot of times that breaks like bad interactions or broken interactions. So I think it's a positive. But we'll do a giveaway, I think, 1 or 2 for this. Whoa, lots of Corvettes. As you see as you see Andrew's reserve deck as he deploys the system. Deploys Chandrila, Lightside Endor, Krellian Corvette, for free, because wow, he used the signal, sorry, I didn't catch that at the beginning, with Haven, so you could deploy it on, let me pause this. So Haven's a pretty cool card. Usually you see it in Echo Base operations on the Hoth system, but you can see it in some of these others. I've never actually seen it on Alderaan, but that's pretty interesting. So Rendezvous Point subtracts 2 for Starships deploy, Hyperspeed plus 2, and Haven subtracts 2 from Starships and 1 from Pilots. and they're hyperspeed +2, so they're 5, so they can get from 13, the parsec of rendezvous point, all the way down to 8, which is what he's doing right now. No battle plan or battle order out. Again, that's another card that just came out in this Endor set, so interesting to kind of see the impact of that. Maybe I'll move this over here so you can see it. Maybe I'll move it if there's so many effects. So we see in numbers. So this is going to be a bunch of droids like R2 with a high destiny. R2X2 adds 1 to power maneuver high speed. But more importantly, deploy 1, destiny 4 for never tell me the odds. All right, Kifex off the top from Andrew. Guessing that's not his secret base. If he was willing to lose off the top with that being a risk. Here comes Vader for 6 to flip. Vader, I don't know if he's sure if he lost that. He lost that from hand, so not anticipating, I guess, any revolutions, or maybe he has another one. So light side now needs to lose a force. Loses another high destiny droid that plays in with never tell me the odds. Light side's going to activate. Again, this is, if you don't know, Wyoslia in there, Destiny 5, so lots of Corvettes. So this is, if you're not familiar, this is on GEMP, which is the platform that pretty much everyone uses now for online Star Wars CCG. This is the replay function, which is really great for a lot of reasons, but especially for streaming, that if we don't have a member of the stream team cover a game live, they can do it via replay. It also, and you can see the perspective of the players, which is a benefit, like from one of the players at least. And the other thing is it goes a little faster than watching a game live where players are deliberating each decision. One of the drawbacks is like if you're playing live, you can just like click on a character and it shows you like all the modifiers, so like power and all that, but it doesn't do that on replay. All right, so light side's going to initiate a drain of 1 at Endor, but there's projective telepathy, popular card in this format as it cancels anger, fear, aggression, which is a real pain in the butt. Yeah, so we see a Grimtosh. I got to pause it on one of those reserve deck looks so we can get an idea of what to expect here. So Andrew deploys Yarna, which protects his non-unique nouns, we'll say, from Monarch Lost, so that Darkside doesn't just play Monarch Lost for 4 force and cause Lightside to lose a bunch of cards, as long as they're at 12 or under cards in hand. So that comes R2 as a passenger onto one of the Corvettes. Now he's going to deploy the other droid and probably insert here. Yep. So, a Torture. So this is a good card, necessary card in this format. A lot of people, especially new returning players, they come back to the game, they hate numbers. They're very non-interactive. There's something Decipher did that subsequently led to a lot of counterplay. But even a lot of the counterplay came at Death Star 2, which is the next expansion. This was one of the best. This, and don't forget the droids, was its counterpart for Lightside. Canceled numbers whether it was inserted or revealed. Destiny 6. Also Resistance and Ultimatum capped the loss to 2 if the player's on 3 battlegrounds or the opponent's on 0. So that's not quite as good as the interrupts. You have to have them at the right time, whereas the effects you can start if you need to, or search for them with like the signal. Oh, that's right. So I think, yeah, so let me pause this again. So another cool thing about Haven and Endor is to move your starship to here from Rendezvous Point or Haven, or I guess either way. So his movement's free, so his Corvettes are deployed 0. They move for free to Endor. That's pretty sweet. So he just put in the third one out there. So he's got a lot of forfeit. He doesn't get a Battle Destiny, but we'll see what DRTORCH has. Only 2 cards in hand. Light side, it has 3 systems out. They can't flip Hidden Base until they get to 5. That was an errata that came out shortly after the card came out back in 1998. Here we have Presence of the Force. So DRTORCH is going to push through drains of 2 here and draw. Both players pretty low on cards in hand, so he's going to draw a bunch probably here. At some point he's going to want to find space probably to be able to probe the system, because once Lightside, or if Lightside's able to flip, it can cancel drains, and maybe Andrew or COTVG, as his Gemp handle is, maybe he finds something to deal with Visage of the Emperor. So it's just a matter now of DRTORCH kind of finding long-term plays, I guess. All right, Corvette off the top. We're going to see a drain of 1 here. DRTORCH blows through the soft cap of 12 for Grimtosh or Monarch, but makes, I guess, a pretty calculated bet that Andrew does not have Grimtosh in his 2-card hand. Here comes 2. Is he going to deploy both? Yep. 2 1/2 systems that are Force Drain 3 for light side. So Andrew's going to flip here, so now he's going to be able to cancel the drain and be able to put a Force Choke to an extent. On dark side, they have to pay 1 to draw each card. Oh, I gotta not do that with this mouse. Sorry, everyone. I remember that from one of my recent streams. My mouse is on like a hard surface, so when I'm dragging it around, it's pretty close to the microphone. So at a stream a week or two ago, I was like, oh crap, when I was listening to it, just here and there, I was like, oh, that's really annoying. So hopefully, no one said anything, so maybe they don't notice it as much as me. But all right, so Visage, Ping, Andrew drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Krellian Corvettes, 3 more droids. Nothing to deal with Visage. Oh, all right, so reveals his hand, but Yarna is going to protect all those Corvettes from going to the lost pile. So that's pretty important. This is immune to alter if dark or light occupies 2 battlegrounds. So dark could probably alter that if it finds it. I'm sure that DRTORCH has 1 or 2 alters in here. In this format, it's not crazy to play Censor Alter in Huntdown. There's just a lot less Jedi than nowadays in open or future expansions even within the Decipher era. So you're more likely to be on the 7 side in this era than you were after it. So playing an altar isn't crazy, especially when there's annoying stuff like Gunite and Revolution and stuff like that. All right, so DRTORCH is going to be drawing cards. He pays 1 each time. Guess he's just digging here and not really caring about a used or lost Scrimtosh, which is the right play probably. He's got to find ships, you know. If he gets used Scrimtosh, so be it. It's important that he finds cards for the long term. Because at some point, Andrew's going to like just spread out in space, and then if there's no battle order or battle plan that comes out, that's going to be really bad for dark side, especially if they don't probe. Right, so another drain of 1. Dark Lord of the Sith from hand is tossed. Another Corvette, and you could just shuffle these all around. So lots of moves here. I could do a giveaway too during the stream. Maybe I'll just do like a trivia question. Although, like I said, I'm doing this at a pretty off-peak time, so there's probably not a lot of live viewers. In fact, it looks like there's only a few. So maybe I'll do it and reward the few individuals. But it'll be like an easy trivia question. And then actually, if you watch this on replay, you could submit an email to marketing. I'll specify that too, so allow the replay viewers to get a chance. I have a few extra foil slips that I can give away. Okay. And of course, foil slips are more so for open players. So if there's some players who watch or play open and retro, it'd be a little more appealing. But if not, hopefully people can always get them and trade them for stuff. All right, so Andrew is shuffling around his Corvettes here. He's got 2 at each of the 3 systems. We're going to draw here. Y.O. Slia. That Never Tell Me the Odds hasn't popped yet, right? Unless my babbling, I missed it, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, it was canceled. That's right. Torture canceled as soon as it was inserted, so. Of course. And so Andrew's not finding any anti-Visage of the Emperor cards like Transmissions Terminated. Maybe a Spy, but probably not. Torch is going to return some cards from hand here using Reactor Terminal. Lining up Destinies, or just generally keeping us. Oh, Jabba Space Cruiser and Brangus Glee. Jabba Space Cruiser does not have a permanent pilot. Can add 2 alien pilots. Bosk and Houndstooth comes down. Probes Kessel. Let's see. That's a miss. Alright, so he's going to battle here. Andrew, doesn't make sense for me to use Hyper Escape because he has 2 ships and only 1 force left. Bosk and Houndstooth adds Battle Destiny. So that's going to be 2 Destinies for Torch. 3 and 1. So Andrew's probably going to lose 1 Corvette because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more in hand, including 1 shiny one. And he wants to keep these droids out here probably. And he would have to lose. That wouldn't do anything. Oh, he has 4 forfeits. He'd have to lose R2 or the Corvette. Or he's for 5. All right. So Torch draws his last card. It looks like. Yeah. So none saved here. I see if Andrew's going to bring down like. He doesn't get the deploy reduction at Kessel. He doesn't really have much to fight with besides just Corvettes. Alright, so he gets a drain at Kashyyyk, a drain at Endor, 1 apiece. Torch loses the Audience Chamber from hand. Audience Chamber plus like Search and Destroy, which is a card that came out just in this set. Endor, when I say this set. That's good against hidden base, because if your late side opponent does not put any characters on the ground, basically, they lose a force every draw phase. Alright, so Andrew's just going to deploy to Changela. This is going to up his activation because he has a capital starship here, +2. This is a drain of 3, and it also adds 2. Oh, no, it doesn't, because it doesn't have a rebel. If rebels control the system, Imperials and Imperial starships are deployed +2. Alright, so he finds an odds, that's pretty good. Finds that it could be worse, which could be risky against it. It's worse. But all right, Wisely goes. He's got 8d8, which is Destiny 5. Spoiler: he was in a recent Star Wars show, which is pretty cool. All right, Darkside puts Dr. Vaz in. Doesn't want to get overflowed here. Andrew only has so many cards face down. He only has 15 cards face down. So, and these Corvettes are going to cost 4 force each. Alright, but so Torch didn't have to move his ships at the end of the last turn to try to be able to probe on dark sides or light sides deploy phase, because you can do it either deploy phase, you can probe. Now he's paying 1 to draw. Having that reactor terminal is pretty helpful. He's probably digging for another Torture, would be my bet. Yeah. So if there's anyone in the chat, let me just ask a question. If you respond, you can get a, maybe I'll even do like a random rare. Especially if it's more of a retro player. I don't want you to get a foil slip that you'll never use. So maybe we'll do 2 random rares. Let's do that. And we'll do, actually we'll do 1 live and 1 via replay. It could be worse. Got played. Senses played. Draws a 6, so he misses. He plays another Sense. Wow. No anti-sense alter affects that here, like Wise Advice or Do or Do Not. And Torch draws a 1 this time, so he's going to successfully cancel the It Could Be Worse. So Andrew probably played that thinking, hey, my opponent has no force save, so he can't, even if he has It's Worse, I'm not going to get burned by it to lose a ton more force. So he does lose the It Could Be Worse. He then needs to lose the actual card for Visage, which is 8d8, plays the Signal. There's nothing in there. There's a Grimtosh, and It Could Be Worse, and a Barrier, and then a bunch of nouns that look like an Altar for Order to Engage. Because, wait a minute, he had to... Did Darkseid have to eat a bunch of force there? Probably, right? 2 Force of Oz and... No. Okay, so he moved over. Andrew had ran away. Okay. So let's see. If you're in the chat, name the Darkseid counterpart to Never Tell Me the Odds. And if you're someone watching this on replay, send an email to marketing@starwarsccg.org. There's multiple people. I'll do like a random selection. I'll get you a random rare card from the prize box, and I'll give you probably a foil slip too, half flip. So foil slip and a rare card. All right. So now Torch successfully alters Order to Engage, and that's pretty big for Dark. Projected Telepathy is going to force 2 force here. So no, for him to get the drain 3, that is. So it's a drain of 3 of course on. Torch is just going to have to eat it. So this looks pretty close. Let me pause it here, do a set, as I was kind of babbling. So Andrew looks like he's going to have another 1, 2, 3, 4 force and 4 strains. That's going to put him at 5, 12, 27 to 24. So it's going to be pretty close. Visage obviously favors Darkside. Every turn that goes by that Torch does not probe is real bad, because these drains are going to start to add up, especially if like the battle order would be huge here to make both players pay 3 force for each drain. But that would definitely favor Darkside here, because Lightside has these little drains of 3 that would cost a lot of force, and there's It's Worse from reserve deck. Here comes a Corvette to the rendezvous point. Looks like we're not going to get a battle here. Torch uses the probe and he hits it. Okay, so that's big. All right, so yeah, like I said, you can probe on your opponent's turn. So Darkside probes, Endor finds the hidden base, goes out of play. Now Lightside can no longer cancel the 4 strains like they were doing, and Dark can not have to pay to draw. And isn't there one other benefit? That's pretty much it. It's the pay to draw and cancel the drains. So now Darkseid's going to be able to get those drains. If Torch has like battle order in his deck, that would be huge, because he's probably going to be able to hold it. Whereas Lightside's not going to have any ground forces to satisfy battle order, which would then prevent him from paying 3 force for each 4-strain. All right, so more Corvettes. So Andrew's deploying a lot of Corvettes. He's going to pay 3 with effective repairs to retrieve an effect of any kind. Okay, so that's pretty big. So he gets order to engage. So now he can deploy that and either force Torch to either battle him at Endor or run away. Or battle him or lose 3, rather. And with all these Corvettes, he's probably not going. Although, I don't know. There's 16 and 2 Battle Destiny versus, it looks like it's going to be around 31 and 1 Battle Destiny. There's a lot of forfeit there. But yeah, he probably isn't going to battle. Or if he does, he's still going to battle and run away. But now, Andrew is on every system, and he's replenishing his hand with 1 Corvette. Civil Disorder might kick in. That's a card that, given all the cards of ability that Andrew has on the table, Darkseid's going to have to start deploying characters or lose 2 force each deploy phase. Or I guess, when does the actual force loss happen? At the end of their deploy phase. Okay. Alright, so Dark got back a couple probe cards when it hit the hidden base. Yeah, thank you, James. Alright, so we got one submission. Yay. I will include it in the prizes I need to send you, which hopefully in the next week or 2, I will have a package for you, James. Alright, so Admiral Ozzel joins the fun here. So Torch is going to battle into this and not lose the 3. What? Oh, he didn't move every single Corvette there. I was thinking he was going to get to 31 in power. Low first battle destiny of a 1 and a 3. So he could lose. I don't know. Which word is this? No, it's only 4 for 3. So he's going to lose a Corvette. Destiny 2, so something has to go because he's not immune. So maybe he loses some fodder up here, like Ozzel's forfeit 6, and maybe a Vazen. That's not gonna cover? What happened there? He lost a Vazen first, that's 3. So yeah, now Ozzel covers. I don't think there's a Never Tell Me the Odds in Dr. Torch's deck. Did he get hit with 2 Tortures already? I don't know. Maybe Andrew's probably strategically holding that to make sure it doesn't get canceled, because that might just be the game. I mean, that's going to be a lot of force, right? Torch did deploy Coward, which also works against... No, it doesn't work against insert cards. It's just Asteroid Sanctuary, non-battleground, 4 strains, and retrieval. Alright, so Torch is going to reload his hand here. Hidden Base is probe. Dark. Our Light's going to be dealing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage here. And here comes the altar for the order to engage. Really needs like a wise advisor, do or do not. Alright, so that's going to cancel it. That's pretty big. And he could just pretty much keep cycling them. He can keep drawing and putting cards back. And he's got a big hand here with 16, 11 cards face down. So he's at basically 27. Dr. Torch has had a huge hand this whole game, basically. 27 to 16, 15 we're looking at here. So, see what this could be close though. I feel like it could still go either way. So here comes the big round of damage here. Projected telepathy is going to make him lose 2. That'll come in later too as the force keeps dwindling. So that gets through. Monarch, always thinking with your stomach. Evader. Strain 1. Twilight Advisor. Just a quick plug too as these trains are going through. The annual retro. Let's try again. Annual online retro event on GEMP. So play.starwarsccg.org starts in 10 days. That's going to be premiered a special edition. You could sign up on the forum. You go to starwarsccg.org. There's an article on the homepage about it, the event, that has links to other stuff, or you could just go to forum.starwarsccg.org and look at the board index. There's a whole forum dedicated to it where you can ask questions or interact or obviously see all the prizes. There's some pretty cool prizes, but signups are going to be open through, I think, the 30th. So a week into the event, and there'll be like a cutoff to the top 8. We have, I think, 28 players signed up already. So hopefully we get a handful more. It's all for charity. All the you can register for as low as $1. 100% is going on to the Jacksonville Hospital, Children's Hospital, where Sean Valdez, of course, I should have mentioned that on the other stream, has a tie to Star Wars CCG. Of course, the story of Sean, which I think we need to link that into that forum now that I think about it. Or it might actually be. I think Andy might have done it. Andy Talag has been leading the organization of that. So yeah, sign up for that. That'll be a good time. And Premiere to Special Edition is the format. So we're even going backwards from this period. So probably be a good amount of hunt down. So DRTORCH lost. I just noticed this as I was doing that. So he had security precautions. I guess he found it pretty late. He loses a torture from hand. Am I missing something here? Because that... Maybe he's got another one. He probably has another one. And if he did lose it, why did Andrew still not insert? Never tell me the odds. Interesting. Maybe I'll find out something later. But I learn something new every game. But it wouldn't surprise me if maybe the approach here is that Andrew's just like holding, and then just hoping to really make that never tell me the odds actually count. I don't know. There's probably a rule. I need to ask. Can you not insert? Or maybe that's what's... not necessarily. Can you not insert if the opponent doesn't have at least, 2 cards in a reserve deck? Is that how that works? But even if he did, I guess maybe this is the reasoning. Will Torch just not activate? But he's been like drawing up pretty much everything. So he'd have to change his plan there because he has to kind of run in space. Actually, maybe not. I don't think he's going to get overflowed here. We have a revert that doesn't break it, which is good. Sometimes it does break it. Wisely from reserve deck. Light side's getting pretty low. Grandma Tarkin goes aboard the space cruiser. So yeah, he's probably going to... I guess he doesn't need to battle. But he's trying to avoid the civil disorder force loss. That makes sense. Because if he doesn't play a card with ability, he loses. He's now going wide here. Torch is going to draw. So now he's got no force saved here. So, like, I'm curious when this insert's going to happen. I'm curious who's going to win, because this is pretty... This could still go either way, I think. Clearly, Torch is trying to get to that drain of 3, which is pretty brutal. Well, now he's going to eat 2 drains of 3 with Kessel and Coruscant. So, another Torture from hand. Interesting. Altar from hand. Sniper from hand. Like, Undercover Spy would be pretty huge here. That Visage is really adding up, though. It looks like no there's a Projected Telepathy lost off the reserve deck. Another drain of 1. Coming in for a landing here. Players are at 9 for light side and 11 for dark. Light is holding that it could be worse. Still doesn't insert. Interesting. Yeah, I gotta read some cards because there must be a reason why. Or it's just a very, very like patient play. So Torch saves 3, activates 4. Here comes the drain. Andrew's just gonna lose. Never tell me that's from force, but here comes first strike. Oof. He's gonna have to lose 2 to civil disorder. Why didn't he? I guess he needed to save the force for something. For like first strike. I know he didn't even know that it was coming. He didn't know first strike was coming before he declined to pay 2 with it could be worse. Here comes the hyperscape. Looks like there's a sense. Something missed there in the log. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck just happened? Oh, he lost it. Oh, that's probably a mistake. Why? Oh, I'm confused. Is this going to be reverted? Did he intend to play the hyperscape? He would have had to pay the force. No. Wow. Maybe he meant to move away and then didn't want to ask for the revert, or maybe it was denied. I don't know. Something's not adding up here. All right, so Dark is going to go just for the first strike swing. Loses a force. Moves away, so he blocks that drain of 3. Light now leads to lose another. So now you could play, it could be worse. Yeah, you play it, right? Or maybe this whole time he's been afraid of like a sense. Oh, he does have the sense. That's brutal. That's brutal. Another. Okay, maybe that's why he was holding it. Oh, but he misses it. Wow. Does he have another sense? Yes, he does. Wow. Wow. That's happened twice now. Some tough breaks there, but not the craziest thing to draw Destiny 6 in this deck. He probably has a bunch. Yeah, thank you for that, James. Yeah, about the rules. Yeah, you need to have at least 2 cards in your reserve deck to insert. But now he's got to lose all that, and he lost it. Now he's going to drain for a bunch. And he's going to need to... He could initiate battle for the first strike swing, but this isn't going to be enough. He's going to come up just shy, it looks like.